it's just testing you. It's just testing how much of a thinker you are. So when I was doing my NCLEX, I didn't even know. I didn't see what I studied in the exam hall. And so many of my friends also said the same thing. You use your ACHA, you use your sounders, you use your U-word, but you don't get to see the same questions in the exam hall. You don't get to see the questions like that. It's just different. But because I've been studying this, because I've been using this to practice, I sort of knew how to streamline my thinking. I knew how to arrange my thoughts. I knew how to think to be able to provide the best possible solution to this patient's problem. And that's what the whole practice section is about. That's what the whole teaching or preparation of section or process or period is about. That's what your whole preparation period is about. It's about teaching you how to think to be able to provide the best solution to this patient's case. It's not asking you to cram. Yes, there might be some things like lab values that you need to really know. Sodium is 135 to 145. Those kind of things, you need to know them, but not everything you need to know. Like mostly those lab values that you have to know, and drug levels, therapeutic levels, and all of that. But other than that, you understand, you just have to know how to think strategically. That's what the NCLEX is requesting from you. And there's not much difference between the old and the new generation NCLEX. In fact, the new generation NCLEX is done in such a way that they still bring the old NCLEX into it. It's just the case studies and then the method of marking that sort of makes it different, and of course how you think about it. So there are still some questions from the old NCLEX that is in there. That's why you still continue using the practice materials you've been using for your old NCLEX before in this new NCLEX, and learn some one or two things as well online and all that. But majorly the bulk of the questions in the new generation NCLEX still covers the old generation NCLEX, but you have to know the new method, know the new question types that have been added, the close, the graph, and all of that. Know the question types in the next generation NCLEX, know the marking system. So it gives this partial scoring method now instead of the previous dichotomous or dichotomous method of marking, whereby it's either you get it right or you get it wrong. So if you get the answer right, it gives you right. If you get it wrong, it gives you bad. But in this partial scoring method in the next generation NCLEX that was introduced, if for instance you're having a method that applies, you get two of the options right. They ask you to select 4 correct options and you get 2 right. They will give you the mark for the 2 and then subtract the mark for the 2 that you didn't get right. So it's basically ruling it out. But if for instance you're able to get 3 right and then you got 1 wrong or you didn't get the other one, they will subtract 1 from it and give you 3 marks, meaning you're getting 2 marks at the end of the day, if you understand what I mean. So the total 4 options, and they ask you for you were able to get 3 right, you didn't get 1 right, they will subtract the mark for that one, meaning you have 2 marks left, something like that. So you have to know what you're choosing. If you don't choose the option, you don't get marked down for it. So if you don't choose the wrong option, you don't get marks down. But if you choose the wrong option, you get marks down. They subtract the mark for that wrong choice that you have made. So you have to be very careful when you're answering questions in select or that applies. You have to be very, very careful. Think strategically, think about it very well before you know what you're doing, before you do what you're doing rather. And that's really all about that. That's all about the NCLEX. You still use the same study materials. A lot of people use U-word, some use ACHA, some use sounders, some use things. There are different YouTubers online that gives us information and knowledge about materials and videos about NCLEX. There is Simple Nursing, there is Rema Nurse, there is a lot of them. You can use any of them online. You can use textbooks, and don't forget to also subscribe to question banks like ACHA and U-word. They also help you to build your thinking ability, the way you think, the way you answer questions and all. That's all about that. I will drop any more tips I have or any more difference I have if I remember any more, but these are all I can think of at the moment. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell, share the video with your friends, like, comment. That's a way of you showing your support and saying thank you, Joy, and you're welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.